So it wasn't wishful thinking. I did hear those little cub growls as they were suckling, and Mom has chosen that exact spot where I said, oh, let's just have a look. I'm feeling lucky there. If I was a lioness, this is where I'd keep my cubs. And there we are, the three little monsters. Oh, Mom's tail is the best toy in the world. Got it, I got it. Oh, they're just too sweet. I hope you guys are getting some fantastic screenshots. I know it's through the bush, but this is the only spot we can actually see them from. Spectacular and so special if we were able to be witness to that. Well, if you can't get Mom's tail, sibling's tail will do. Look at it. Got him. Oh no, he escaped. Well, I think we've got a brave little one coming to investigate us. So actually coming quite a lot closer to us. Now I'll get into that age where they're going to start getting more brave. Sorry, I know the other little one to the back. It slipped off Mom and literally landed in the strangest little position. Here we go, it's still there. Mom's having a look now, because it made a bit of a funny noise, but it was after Mom's tail. Could have some sibling playing at the moment. You can see they're much more mobile than they were when that Buffalo's Hook waterhole, where they were barely mobile at all. But they're still not quite the most coordinated little kitties just yet. About the size of a domestic house cat, possibly a little bit heavier. Oh, let's go save them. What's going on down there? One's gone back to Mom. There we go, there's that sound I heard. Now, I know you guys have heard me say this many times, but your ears are quite often the best things at finding animals in the bush. Oh. So they're very active when Mom's around, even though Mom's not. Now, when Mom leaves them, they literally are so completely dead still. And you can see still those wonderful little cub spots on their head help break out their outline when they're lying in a thicket. See, that one's got some quite prominent spots. Well, all of them do, but two in particular, very prominent spots on their back. They are just the sweetest. You can see what I say, not the most coordinated just yet. Lots of slipping and tripping. Well, thanks very much, Andreen. Andreen says you can always count on Brent and Brian to find these adorable little Nkuhuma cubs. Now, I couldn't think of a better way to start a sunset safari, and I'm definitely not going to move much at all. Of course, the mystery of where the rest of the Nkuhuma pride is remains a mystery. I still think they could be in the area. You see, I don't know if you can actually see, but we're being stalked by one of them. He's very curious. He's coming much closer to us. He's actually climbing the hill. I don't know if you're going to be able to see him, Brian. He's literally in this stuff coming right up towards us. I don't know if you're going to be able to see him from where you are. Or her. But definitely a bit brave. More, there we go. You can just get the movement. More brave than the other two. But it could lead to more bravery from the others. Well, if your brother or sister does it, you sort of have to. Hi, Tula Ann, who's 4 years old. And Tula Ann's wondering, does it hurt Mom when they bite her tail? A little bit, Tula Ann. They're still quite young, but when they get bigger, it will definitely hurt. And Mom will sometimes shout at them if they bite her tail too much. But a lioness's tail is a lion cub's favorite toy. Nope. Attacking a stick. So Donna's wondering if Mom has a cut on her back foot. I can't really see from where I'm sitting, Donna. I might see Brian can have a look with the camera. And even if there is a little scratch or a cut, it's nothing serious. We saw her this morning. She was walking completely fine. And lions always have cuts and scratches on them. The nature of being a lion. Oh, we got another new toy. No, I'm bored of that toy. So they need to dispel all their energy when Mom's here. So when Mom leaves, they're not going to be able to move at all. Look at that. Just having the best all the time. So at the moment they've still got milk teeth. They'll lose those teeth at about 6 months old. And those milk teeth are really sharp, like little needles. So you can imagine it can be quite powerful, especially as they get a bit bigger than this. Sometimes just wonderful to just sit quietly and observe these incredible little creatures. Look at that. Oh, there we go. Oh, I'm hungry again. I was playing, but then I saw that. I just got to be on the Game Drive comms for a second. And while we sit here with these glorious little cubs, and we've got a quick surprise for you on foot. So they're still being incredibly cute and incredibly active. Annoying Mom, chewing on each other's tails. There's one who's taken a great interest in us. And so you can see there's two there, but there's one in that thicket who seems to be very, very interested in us. I can just see his little eyes watching us. There, you can just see the bit of movement. Oh, he's found something more entertaining than us now. Oh. The other two decided it's time to eat again. Now let's see if the third becomes jealous and wants to go eat, but he's still watching us. I'll show you quickly what I can just make out through the bushes as he stares at us intently. Hey, little monster. Could be, I know James and Brian, you're saying there's definitely one male, one female.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're not sure the third. I think the one who's... Sorry, my camera nearly fell. That was the quick movement there. The one who's coming closest to us, I think it's probably a young male. Not to say there might not be two. But I think just from his behavior, a little bit more brazen, a little bit braver. Going back now. Decided, well, can't let the other two have all the milk. Oh. Ginny's wondering, do the lioness, when they have babies, sleep soundly? Or do they keep one ear open? Ginny, they keep one ear open at all times. It's one of the things about living out here in the bush. You need to be alert. But she's probably slightly more alert when she's with the little cubs. Oh, little complaint going on there. Now it's going to get interesting if the third decides it's hungry again, which it looks like is happening. Oh, look at those ears go back. Just as if it would on a kill. Ears go back, showing aggression even at this young age. Look at those ears. There we go. Mom will make space for you. Like a splattered lion cub between her legs. Doesn't look very comfortable. So, looking at these tiny little cubs that are about 8-9 weeks old now, I wonder if anyone out there knows how much a lion cub weighs at birth. So if you know how much a lion cub weighs at birth, of course this is an average, let us know by using the hashtag SafariLive on Twitter, or send us an email, questions@WildEarthTV. What is the weight of a lion cub at birth? Now, Haley's wondering about lion dispersal, and particularly female lion dispersal, so the little lionesses, or future lionesses, little female cubs at the moment, when they become adults and of mating age, will they be allowed to mate? Must they go start their own pride, a new pride, or must they stay with this pride? Now, lions are quite different, and if you compare to hyenas or whatnot, the genetic strength of the lions is held within the lionesses. So they will stay with their natal pride. The only time you'll have a splitting of a pride is if it gets too big. So if you've got 40 lions, it's difficult to feed them, so they might split into 2 or 3 prides. But normally, the females will stay with their natal pride. The males will disperse away from their pride of birth, but the females will stay with their natal pride. And the reason for this is the males change. So there's new genetics coming in, so it's unlikely they're going to have to mate with their fathers or brothers. It does happen, and inbreeding in lions is not uncommon. But it doesn't have that much of an adverse effect as long as it doesn't happen for too many generations in a row. A very peaceful scene. Of course, there's got to be a grey go-away bird somewhere to make a noise. Always. Listen to the beautiful silence of the bush. Go wah, wah. And we're going to sit here, see what happens with these little delectable monsters. So excited to have found them, and I can't think of anywhere I'd rather be right now. But you might want to go join Steph on foot. Spend the last few minutes with these glorious little cubs. Unfortunately, the only spot you can see them from is exactly where we're sitting. And there's no other area for a car to get in. So we're going to enjoy our last moments with the most precious little Nkuhumas. And then we go back onto Mom's tail. Always the best toy. The lion cubs are adept at making everything a toy. Elephant tongue, a stick, a bone, a horn, an ear, a brother, a sister, a cousin, a mother or an aunt. Nice to be in a big family. Watch them from this age. And we're going to be, as I said, very lucky to have watched them from this age all the way up to as they get bigger, because you're going to see how more agile and how more playful they are going to be able to get. So well done to James, Elaine and Mimi, who've got that spot on. A lion at birth can weigh from 3 pounds to 4.6 pounds. So very little. Go ahead. Sorry, I'm just on the game drive. About halfway between Yellow Road North Junction and Gropan itself. If you keep driving on Gropan, I'll see your vehicle and then I'll make space. Okay, so unfortunately we are going to have to let someone else enjoy these wonderful little tykes. Oh, Brian, look what I spotted. I don't know if I spotted a flower, or almost a flower. Is it too close?
Yeah, it might be.
A wintering flowering plant. Those flowers haven't quite opened yet. But let's have a last look at the cubs, because I can hear the car coming. If you look down to your east, you should see me. Just give me a minute and I'll move out. Okay, so there we go. Okay. We're going to have to leave and I'm going to have to do some driving to get out of here. So let's go back to James on the plains of the Cheetah. Now, it's actually perfect here because I can show you why this is such a good den site. So if Mom's not here, these little cubs are going to be literally in the most impenetrable little ravine. So it's probably about nearly a meter deep. And you can just see there's porcupine bushes, dalbergias, zebra woods that are just so thick. And there's a tiny little ravine in there that literally, even if you were looking for them, you wouldn't see them inside that. Looks like they're napping. I can't really see them. Brian, how's your view? Now, Torsten's wondering what would happen if the pride were to meet the cubs before the female introduced them to them. Well, the reason the females wait a little bit to introduce them is not so much that they're going to kill them or eat them, it's just that they're a bit boisterous with them. Specifically because there are other cubs that are a bit older, they tend to be a little bit more rough. So they need to be of a sort of certain age and strength that they are able to deal with the joys of living in a large family. Right, we go back to the first spot. Yeah, I think the first spot was better. We're just trying to see if we could get you a better view. Oh, Brian wants me to stop. He's seen something. Oh, there we go. They're going to join Mom. Hello, cutenesses. Not the most coordinated. Well, it's definitely been a lion safari today. James with the sticks, us with the Nkuhuma and Cubs. Hi, Cheryl. Cheryl's wondering at what age are lion cubs safe from a takeover of males. Well, male cubs are never safe, but female cubs, they have to be probably about 3 years old to be safe from a pride takeover. They have to be nearing their first proper estrus cycle for mating. Anything younger than that, and the males will kill them. Is that a very slow stalk we're witnessing? Yes, it was. That was a very, very clumsy stalk and pounce, but practice nonetheless when it gets bigger and it starts to jump on things like buffalo. Okay. What do you think, Brian? Let's go around where I think we were going to get a much clearer view of them. Now, I think that's something I would have paid good money to watch. Unfortunately, the cubs are just playing behind a bush at the moment, but I think they will come back out towards the open behind Mom. They are moving around quite a bit. Look at that. Isn't that just too sweet? And imagine that we found them by the slightest little call, that little while they were arguing over suckling. It's quite a rewarding way to have actually found them from that incredible little call. Now, having tracked lions and lion cubs on foot many times, you don't want to be close enough to hear the little cub moans when you're on foot. That means you're about to be in trouble. Garrett, welcome to Safari Live. Garrett's a new viewer. Garrett's asking, is this dangerous? Well, it has the potential to be dangerous, Garrett, but we drive very carefully, very respectfully around these animals, and also they're very used to us. As you can see, the mom is taking absolutely no notice of us whatsoever, and the cubs are frolicking about with abandon at the moment. So they will take their opportunities to be as active as possible while mom's here. It's not uncommon for female lions to leave their cubs for up to 3 or 4 days while they go hunting. So they need to produce enough meat to be able to keep producing milk. And in some of those circumstances, they do leave their cubs for extended periods. It's not uncommon. It's very, very normal lion behavior. Jacqueline, there we go, spot on. Jacqueline was saying, I've seen a domestic kitten need a mother's nipples to suckle more milk. Do any big cats do this? Well, there we go. You can't really see it, but they do. There we go. Oh, I was doing it a little bit. There we go. But they do need, it just depends on how much milk she's producing and how much she's eaten recently to whether the kneading. You'll notice with lions, kneading normally happens more when the lioness has not eaten, so isn't producing as much milk. Then they will need to try stimulate those nipples. Come on, come play at where we can see you, you little monsters. Now, SJB is wondering, has anyone ever seen a lioness giving birth? There may be 1 or 2 records in the wild, but most of the recorded lion births you will see will be filmed in zoos, where they can set artificial cameras and artificial dens. Now, in the wild, lions utilize some of the most inaccessible little ravines or rocky outcrops and crevices to give birth in. So the chances of actually seeing a wild lion birth are almost zero. Give you an idea, I've lived in the bush my whole life, and I think the closest I've come to seeing a big cat birth was this year when we found Karula, the female leopard, when her cubs were a mere few hours old. That's the closest, and I think that's about the luckiest you're ever going to get out in the wild. Of course, in captivity, one can set up den sites, artificial den sites and stuff for the lions to use and place cameras in there. So if any of those you ever do see filming of lions giving birth, it'll be from captivity. Hi, Aaron. Aaron's 8 years old, and Aaron's wondering, are lions born with teeth? They indeed are, Aaron. They have a set of milk teeth, and they'll keep those baby teeth till they're about 6 months old. And after that, they will lose them. Or they'll start growing their bigger teeth before that, but obviously by the age of 6 months, most of the baby teeth are out. And it coincides at the age of weaning. And what weaning means, Aaron, is the age they stop drinking their mommy's milk. Hi, Thomas. Thomas says, well, if the Nkuhumas and the Sticks were to meet, would they form a super pride, or would all hell break loose? It would be the latter. They're unrelated females, so they're protecting their genetic line, which they do not share. Or if they did share, it's been a very long time since they shared any genetics. So there would be a fight, and the Nkuhumas would more than likely win due to the superior number of females. Now, like male lions will fight over territory, so will females. So the Nkuhumas will defend their territory from the Sticks and vice versa. Well, quickly across the jams. The precious Nkuhuma Cubs. The sun is dipping below the western horizon, and we're not going to stay here as it gets darker. But all Cubs have stopped shenanigans and are tucking in for an early evening meal. So we're going to leave the lions exactly how we found them, doing the exact same thing. But that was a couple of hours ago, but it has been splendid being around with the Nkuhuma Lioness and the three youngest cubs. Now I'm hoping the rest of them make an appearance tomorrow or even later on this sunset safari. And in a very peaceful and tender moment, we shall leave the Nkuhumas and see what else we're going to be able to find out here in the glorious African bush. Okay, bye-bye, Nkuhumas. Now, Kaiser's wondering how many can feed at one time. Well, Kaiser, 4 is the maximum, but they will try. I have seen 6 try feed at the same time. I've seen 8 try feed at the same time, which generally produces quite an entertaining scene.